Mashpaka. Peace family. This day we're gonna get started on into the book of Barashayata, chapter 3. Now I'm skipping a chapter, but we'll be getting back to it eventually. This was put in my spirit to start this, and we're gonna do it this way. Now, as you can see, put it into in Hebrew, and then I will also put it in as I'll call strongly the uh, Babylonian text. All right, just give me a second here, and I gotta find a. I don't know why I'm never ready when I get started. It's like I glutton for punishment here. I'm trying to find this a book, the book that I usually use, and so far I don't see it. I don't wonder what that's about. Oh, here we go. All right. So I say again, the Babylonian tongue. This way you guys can see, not only just hear it, but you can see it read along. Okay. Now, there's a few things I'm explaining to you on the way of this journey that we're going to today. All right. I believe you enjoy it. So again, we're going to Barashat Yata or Bereshit, or for the people who are just coming in and just learning this, Genesis. If you listen to any of the other uh, videos that we done earlier, you should be up to what we're getting ready to do. Try to listen to them, and I wouldn't just jump into this if I was you. If you never done this before, as far as and what we're doing, find out which way we're going about this, and talk to the Father about it. Make sure that you're ready for this. All right, so we're going to start on this wise of Genesis 3 or Barashat Yapta Gama. And the serpent was more crafty than any beast of the field which Yahweh Elohim had made. And he said to the woman, is it true that Elohim has said, do not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said to the serpent, we are to eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Elohim has said, do not eat of. Do not eat of it, nor touch it, lest you die. And the serpent said to the woman, you shall certainly not die, for Elohim knows that in the day you eat of it, your eyes shall be open, and you shall be like Elohim, knowing good and evil. And the woman saw that the tree was good for food, that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree desirable to make one wise. And she took of its fruit and ate, and she also gave to her husband with her, and he ate. All right? Now, that's as far as we're going on this. We're going to stop right there. That's the 6 verses that we're going to study today. Now, if I read it again in the Hebrew vernacular, but the way they had transliterated it, let's read it. Waha Nahash says, and the serpent, Hayaha, was Arawama, more cunning, Makhala, than any Hayafa beast, Ha Shadaha of the field, Asherah, which Aishaha had made Yahweh, Elohim, wa Ya'amara, and he said, Allah, to Ha Ashaha, the woman, Afa. See, there's no transliteration there, so I'm gonna skip it. But we're coming back to it. It says Afa, Chaya, indeed, Amara has said, Alahayama la'a not fa'akalawa. You shall eat makala of every azah tree hagana of the garden. What the amarat and said ha ashaha the woman Allah to ha nahasha the serpent maparaya the fruit azah of the tree hagana of the garden na'akala we may eat what mafaraya but of the fruit ha'azah of the tree ashara which but thawaka in the midst hagana garden amara has said alahayama la'a not fa'akalawa you shall eat mamanawa it that's what it says wala'a not fa'ga'aiwa shall you touch bawa it pana lest fa'wana you die. Verse 4, chapter 3, Bereshit or Genesis, verse 4, where Ya'amarat and said, Ha Nahasha, the serpent, Allah to Ha Ashaha, the woman, La'a not Mawapta, surely Fa'wana you will die. Kaya, verse 5, Kaya, for Yada'i knows Alahayama, Kaya, that by Yawama in the day, Akalakama, you eat Mamanawa of it, what not for ka what said then will be open. Let me say that word again. Well, not for what, okay? Then will be open. Ayana yahama your eyes, wahaya yathama, and you will be ka Allah hayama like Alahayama. Yadaya. So let me start again. Yadaya, knowing tawab, good, what right, evil, and evil. What thara'a. So when Saul ha'ashaha, the woman khaya that tawaba was good, ha'azah the tree, la ma'akala for food. Wa khaya and for, let me see that. Wa khaya and that speaker, fa awawaha, pleasant, hawa'aha. It was la al-nayama of the eyes. Wa na hamada and desirable. Ha'azah the tree or a tree. Laha shaka yalla to make one wise. What fa quack and she took ma rayawa of his fruit, wa akala, and ate. Wa thana, and she gave kama also la ayashaha to her husband, amaha with her. Wa ya akala, and he ate. I'm sorry, I was just thinking about something. I was looking at this earlier, so I'm gonna have to do something for you guys because I didn't know that it was that small. So we're gonna kind of knock this up to at least 200. All right, so you should be able to see it better. All right. Now, with that being said, I'm going to read it again. All right. But listen to this next time. Now, that's the way they translated it. It's the way they seen it. Now I'm gonna tell you how I see it. Okay. And make sure I get everything right here. As you can see, all this, I'm going to read from verse 1 to 6. Let me think. If I can do this like this, it's where you guys can look at what I'm saying. Let's see. 1 to 6. Let me see, how far is that? That's 8. All right. Okay, yeah. Now, right here, here's what I have. Make sure I get this right before I get started, because let's see. He, the enchanter, the sorcerer serpent, first word, wah ha nahash. That's this word right here. He, let me see it again. He, the enchanter, sorcerer, serpent, all right, without hayah, that's without Yah, without Yah, ara wama, naked and crafty, makala, them all, from all of them all, or all of them, makala, kayafta, the life of beast of nothing. All right? We're going to go back on all this again. Ha shadaha, now listen to this. The demon, a devil, he, I'm sure how I got all that, Sharath, blessed and happy, Ashaha, okay, from his constellations, come from the heavens, from the sky with Father. Constellations, Yahweh, Allahayama, and said me. Now, why I say said me or said y'all, because he said well and said y'all, because he's asking this question to the woman, all right, to our grandmother. Not only that, but if you remember, Father is transliterating or telling Mashal to write this down. All right, so he's putting his name in there to make sure we all understand that this is about the Father too. All right, but it's also you'll hear me and Yah because he's the one who's translating or subscribing this to, or if that's the right word, tell Mashal, write this down. This is for the people. All right, now, and said Yah. Now he's repeating or asking the question that what he said that Yah has said, the Most High. Yah Allah, said Yah Allah, the Mighty One, okay? Ha'asha, the woman, to the woman, or the woman, says, Afa, Although, this is this word here that came up here, that have no word for it at all. Alpha. It says, although Kaya, because Amara said, Alahayama, not, La'a, not, the Akalawa, you eat indeed, wherein every, that's from Makala, Azah. Now listen to this. Tree or carpenter. Carpenter is someone who built something. All right. Remember, there was two trees. There was all kind of trees, but in the midst of the garden, it was a tree of knowledge. All right, which I truly believe was Yahashua, and the tree of good and evil. All right, which I also believe it was the enemy. Okay, a pleasure of destruction. All right. So this carpenter, where am I at? Where we at? We at Asa Hagana. Let me see, make sure. Yeah, the garden. That's verse 1. Now, I'm going to go ahead and hit through this a little bit faster because now you understand what I'm doing. All right, now let's go back on 1. First of all, I'm going to tell you on every properties I have where I found these words at in the Strong's Concordance. All right, from the Va, okay, to the Ha, Nakasha, okay. For instance, if I would start with a Va, it would be Va would be come from 2050.2 in your Strong's Concordance in the Hebrew. That's he, and the will come from 1886.3 of the Hebrew Concordation, coordinates, rather Strong's Concordance. This enchanter, okay, from the name of this being, comes from 5172, same name, sorcerer, 5173, and serpent, 5175. They're all the same words, all right? Same words, all right? So that's where we get this at. Now, in verse 2, I'm going to read it and just keep on going. It says, it said her, the woman, to the serpent sorcerer, those offsprings, fruits, all right? The tree of the carpenter, the most high garden, them eat. Howbeit, those offspring fruits, the carpenter tree, the tree, whom within the middle of the garden, said Alahayama, not you eat him. See that? You eat him. It says, those from him not. You touch him. In him, lest you men or you become human. Him and them. Okay? Says he, me said, this enchanter to the woman not die. You men him then become like human again. Okay, for knows Yah, okay, Alahayama, that in day you eat these from him, it then and there, whatever, him, it then, him, it and them, and they open the eyes of me and you and sorrow, my innocence. All right. Ka like Alahayama knows pleasure, tawa, them there in evil and sorrow, the pleasure of evil and sorrow. Okay, let me keep going here. That's 5, verse 5. Verse 6 it says here, then search her, the woman, for pleasant or pleasure, the tree of evil. She searched it for food. And then because of desire, coveted, and lusting of pleasantness, it opened, or it her for eyes watered the eyes. She then, well, she became desirable, or he became desirable. This tree, well, he became desirable of this tree, this carpenter, unto the thorn. Thorns are me, okay, like the prickly. All right. It says here, it is hope live. That's a shame. I can't read my own handwriting. Make known, or eagle of an owl, because that's a deity spirit of the enemy. We're in offsprings of fruit. Them, it, and he, them and she ate. Then she became like a jackal or prostitute, a snake, opposed to also for a husband of hers with her. It mind consumed. All right. Now later on, I'll probably get it. I'm gonna get even better than that. But I just did them from the first 6 verses in Hebrew. All right. Now we need some consummation to make sure that this is right. Right. So here's what Father blessed me with. Go back onto this, and this is from verse 1. All right. And within verse 1, we're going to do some tracking. We're going to find other verses that this matches up with. All right? Give me a second here. That's verse 2, verse 1. We'll start on this rise. We're going to go to First Chronicles, chapter 21. All right? So let's go there. Come on, shrink this back. Let's go back into the Babylonian tongue, and we get confirmation of what we just heard. All right? Let me put that back up here. I don't know how that got down there like that. All right. First Chronicles, chapter 21. All the way down here. It's past it, didn't I? Yeah, I sure did. First Chronicles, chapter 21. I have 21 and 1, but of course you know how we do. We like to know the whole story or the whole lesson of what is being said. Okay, now let's go ahead. And Shaitan stood up against Yasharat Allah and moved the Dawada to number Yasharat Allah. And Dawad said to Ya'ab and to the rulers of the people, go, number Yasharat Allah from Beersheba to Dawana, or Danaan, and bring the number of them to me so that I know it. And Ya'ab answered, Yahweh does add to his people 100 times more than they are. But my master, the sovereign, are they not all my master's servants? Why does my master seek to do this? Why should he be a cause of guilt in Yasharat Allah? But the sovereign's word prevailed against Ya'ab, And Yaab left and went throughout all Yashara'Allah and came to Yarushalayimah. And Yaab gave the sum of the number of the people to Dawad, and all Yashara'Allah had 1,100,000 men who drew the sword, and Yawada had 420,000 men who drew the sword. But he did not number Lawah and Banayamam among them, for the servant's word was loathsome to Yaab, and it was evil in the eyes of Allahayama concerning this matter, and he smote Yashara'Allah. Then Dawah said to Allahayama, I have sinned greatly because I have done this matter, but now I pray that take away the crookedness of your servant, for I have done very foolishly. Verse 9. And Yahweh spoke to God, that's another Dawad seer, saying, that's the name. It's not the name of the people that some of the Christians say that's the father's name. It's not that name. It's just that's the cat's name. All right? Speaking to do that again is 1 Chronicles 21, chapter 21, verse 9. And Yahweh spoke to God, Dawad seer, saying, go, and you shall speak to Dawad, saying, thus says Yahweh, I'll hold three options before you. Choose one of them for yourself, and I do it to you. So God came to Dawad and said to him, thus says Yahweh, choose for yourself either 3 years of scarcity of food or 3 months to be defeated by your foes with the sword of your enemies overtaking you, or else for 3 days the sword of Yahweh, even the plague and the land, with the messengers of Yahweh destroying throughout all the borders of Yashara'Allah. And now consider what answer I am to return to him who sent me. And Dawah said to God, I am in great trouble. Please let me fall into the hand of Yahweh, for his compassion is very great. But do not let me fall into the hand of man. And Yahweh sent a plague upon Yashara'Allah, and 70,000 men of Yashara'Allah fell. And Allahayama sent a messenger to Yarushalayim to destroy it. And as he was destroying, Yahweh saw and relented about the evil, and said to the messenger who was destroying, enough now, stop your hand. And the messenger of Yahweh was standing by the threshing floor of Aranam or Wamana, the Yabasawata. We'll get with that one day. We'll be doing all these words and knowing them. And Dawah lifted his eyes and saw the messenger of Yahweh standing between earth and the heavens, having in his hand a drawn sword stretched out over Yarushalayim. And Dawad and the elders wrapped in sackcloth and fell on their faces. And Dawad said to Allahayim, was it not I who commanded the people to be numbered? I am the one who has sinned and done evil indeed. But these, the sheep, what have they done? Let your hand, I pray, O Yahweh, my Allahayim, be against me and my father and my ancestors' house, but not against your people to be plagued. And the messenger of Yahweh commanded God to say to Dawad that Dawad should go up to raise an altar to Yahweh on the threshing floor of Wamana, the Yabba wa Sayataya. So Dawad went up at the word of God, which he had spoken in the name of Yahweh. And Wamana turned and saw the messenger and his 4 sons with him, and hid themselves. And Wamana was was threshing wheat. And Dawah came to Wamana, and Wamana looked and saw Dawah, and he went out from the threshing floor and bowed down to Dawah with his face to the ground. And Dawah said to Wamana, give me the site of the threshing floor, so that I built an altar to Yahweh on it, and give it to me at the complete price, so that the plague is restrained from the people. And Wamana said to Dawah, take it for yourself, and let my master, the sovereign, do what is good in his eyes. See, I shall give you the cattle for burnt offerings, the threshing implements for wood, and the wheat for the grain offering. I give it all. And sovereign Dawah said to Awana, oh, that's hold up. Yeah. And sovereign Dawah said to Waranana, no, but I shall certainly buy it at the complete price, for I do not take what is yours for Yahweh, nor offer a burnt offering without cost. And Dawah gave Waranana 600 shekels of gold by weight for the place. And Dawah built there an altar to Yahweh and offered burnt offerings and peace offerings and called on Yahweh. And he answered him from the heavens by fire on the altar of burnt offerings. Then Yahweh commanded the messenger, and he returned his sword to its sheath. At that time, when Dawah saw that Yahweh had answered him on the threshing floor of Waranan, the Yabawasayata, he slaughtered there. For the dwelling place of Yahweh and the altar of the burnt offerings which Mashah had made in the wilderness were at that time at the high place in Gabawan. But Dawah was unable to go before it to inquire of Allahayama, for he was afraid of the sword of the messenger of Yahweh. We go to the book of Ayaba, as you would call Job. Let's find that. Book of Job. We're going to 1:14. Too far. Let's see here. Oh, it's up here. Here we go. All right. Book of Yaab. And I believe a lot of you heard this story before. We're going to read chapters 1 and 2. Right? There was a man in the land of Utsa, or Wasa. Hey, let me also bring this up on here too, because I want to check on something while we're reading this. Give me a second. All right, I should have did with the other one too. All right, now let's see. Now I know how to. We'll say the names just correctly. All right, there was a man in the land. Here goes Awatsa. All right, whose name was, now here we go, Ayawaba. Okay, Ayawaba. So all these days we've been calling him Job. Okay, and his name was Ayawaba. Or even if you would say it in there with the vernacular with the vowel, it will be what they got here, Awoba. They still have Job, and I still can't see how you get an aleph and a yod and a wa and a ba to say ja. Or get aleph, a ya, and a wa. How can you get that pronounced ja? Even if you said it in a way that they, I would say the Babylonian tongue in Yiddish, because I think that's what this is more what they try to make it sound like. Okay, because that's what they spoke and still speak is Ayawaba. All right, I can't see how they get Job out of that. I really don't. But so let's go again. It says Ayasha the Hayya. Okay, or I'm sorry, because Ayasha is man. All right. So there was a man in the land of Awatsa, whose name was Ayawaba. And that man was perfect and straight, and one who feared Allahayama and turned aside from evil. And 7 sons, 3 daughters were born to him, and his possessions were 7,000 sheep, 3,000 camels, and 500 yoke of oxen, and 500 female donkeys, and a very large body of servants, so that this man was the greatest of all the people of the east. And his sons uh, went and had a feast in the house of each on his day, and sent and invited their 3 sisters to eat and to drink with them. And it came to be, when the days of feasting had gone round, that Ayoba, or let's say again, Ayawaba, would send and set them apart. And he would rise early in the morning and offer burnt offerings. The number of them all, for Ayawaba said, it might be that my sons have sinned and cursed Allahayama in their hearts. This Ayawaba always did. Wow. Verse 6 of Ayawaba, chapter 1. And the day came to be that the sons of Allahayama came to present themselves before Yahweh, and Shaitan also came among them. Check it out. Let's make sure this name is said right. That way we know who's what and what's where. It's like we just came up with the Nahash. All right? Another name, serpent. Okay? That's another name for Shaitan. All right? The Chash, the serpent and craftiness, all that. Shaddah, another name. All right? Demons, devils. And that was all in what we just read in Bereshit Galah, or Genesis 3. All right? Chapter 1 through 6. Chapter 3, verse 1 through 6. All right? Now, we're looking for this name here. I'm going to show you something. Show you how they play people. See, here it says Ha Shatana. Now, remember we talked about this before. Now, right here, it's supposed to say, but they're saying it says is Hash Satana, or Hasatan, right? Or Ha-Satan, okay? Remember we talked about these doggishes and dots? It wasn't on the original writings, so they try to get you to pronounce it this way. And I told you that I really believe there was Ha-Shatana, that this wasn't there, that dot was on top of there was no dot inside there, there was no comments inside of here, under here, right here was supposed to show you how to pronounce the word with the R sound, okay? So that'll be Ha-Shatana, okay? Only thing I can see today almost did right, but sometimes they try to change it. So they put this as you're supposed to say Shah with the Hash and then Shah by itself. Wrong, all right? So again, we know now it's not Satan or Satan, it's Shaitan. This is a being that they say one of the worldly tricks that is done is making people think that he doesn't exist. Believe me, it does. It does. Okay, let's go back to verse 6 of chapter 4 of Ayawaba. And the day came to be that the sons of Allahayama came to present themselves before Yahweh, and Shaitan also came among them. And Yahweh said to Shaitan, from where do you come? And Shaitan answered Yahweh and said, from diligently searching in the earth and from walking up and down in it. And Yahweh said to Shaitan, have you considered my servant Yahweh, like him on the earth, a perfect and straight man, one who fears Allahayama and turns aside from evil? And Shaitan answered Yahweh and said, is Ayawab fearing Allahayama for naught? Now, let's go to that word. I want to show you something on here. The word not. Check it out. We're going to go right inside of here. And that would be, let's see, was it 9? Yeah. Okay. Ayawana, Yara'a. Okay, so here we go here. And so answer Wayana, Hashatan, Afa, Yahweh. Answered the first and last Yahweh and said Yah Hachanam, Hachanam, that does for nothing. Yara'a, fear, Ayawab, is Alahayama. It's right here. This word here. Let's go to this word, 2600. And find this in here. Okay, give me a minute. And where you at? There we go. Hanam. How you say? Hanam. Okay, out of favor. Out of favor, free, nothing, unless uselessly. Vain, which cause mean nothing. Which cause mean nothing. Without a cause, without pay, without payment. It's from the word. Again, Hanama. Hanama. Okay, go on down, see what else we got on here. Okay, we go without a cause, free, costless, to cause nothing freely, innocent and vain. Okay, from Hana, gratis, that is the word of cause, the void of cause, reason or advantage, without a cause, cause wages, costless, to cause nothing, free, innocent, for nothing, not in vain. Okay, now let's get back to the lessons. Where we at? There we go. We know we went. We were right here. Yeah, right here. Okay. So again, and Shaitan answered Yahweh and said to, is Ayawaba, fearing Allahayama for not. Notice how they change these words around? Because for not and said not for nothing, Yara'ah, fear, Ayawaba, Job, or Ayawaba, Allahayama. But see how they change this around? That's what another thing we have to look at, how they change the words around in here. All right, on this transliteration. Okay. As I said, when I tried to do it, and I'm still going to keep doing it until I get it, I hope you guys understood what I said on it, where I translated it, where I seen it. Okay. Again, you have to play this over and over again. If it's confusing, it will come to you. You'll feel you'll understand what's being said. All right. This is verse 10 of Yahweh, chapter 1. It says, have you not made a hedge around him and around his household and around all that he has on every side? You have blessed the work of his hands, and his possessions have increased in the land. But stretch out your hand, please, and strike all that he has if he would not curse you to your face. And Yahweh said to Shaitan, see, all that he has is in your hand. Only do not lay a hand on himself. And Shaitan went out from the presence of Yahweh. Notice that will be tested. As like sometimes we be tested. I truly believe that for not to be robots, to the Father, that we have free will. Okay, we know now, due to the fact that our grandparents ate of this person or this tree or touched it or whatever, you know, now we know both. But it's his pleasure of destruction. But we also know about the tree of life, Yahshua, through Yahweh, Alahayama, who to me is the same person. We don't know the Father's name. No one's ever seen his face. Yahshua, this is a quote from him. No one. But you hear that he's walked this being walked the earth, and he talked to Mashah, he talked to Dawad. They've seen him, so it couldn't have been the Most High, the Father. It has to be the Son, okay, who represents the Father. So, with that being said, I think that sometimes we go through what we go through to see who we're going to go to, pray to, who we ask for help. We keep doing this evilness, you know. We're not robots. We have free will. Okay. All right. Ayawaba, chapter 1, verse 12. And Yahweh said to Shaitan, see all that he has in your hand, only do not lay a hand on himself. And Shaitan went out from the presence of Yahweh. And the day came to be when his sons and daughters were eating and drinking wine in the house of their brother, the firstborn. Let me stop. Also, even though we go through these testing, we get in this word. We're found. Father shows us ways to rebuke this being, this evil being, away from us and his partners. You know, demonic beings. You know, there's a lot of them fell. A lot of them was thrown down. These is fallen angels, family. You know, these are ones who we can speak to and rule. This is one of the other reasons why this adversary, Shaitan, and the demonic beings of friends don't like us. Because even though we was made last, as far as the beings go, the Father made, but we're over them. Read this word. He'll show you this. His Father tells us all this. And this is why this hatred's after us. There's so much hate. How can you hate someone? Well, we find out even in the land that we live in flesh. That there's people who hate you who never even known you, period. Because of who you are, because of the color of your skin, or because of your beliefs. Just hate you. Don't even know you, never seen you in their lives. Just hate this person, these nations. Well, this being is the same way. So where did that hate come from? If this being hates us, where did the hate come from? From the people, the human beings who's doing the same, have the same kind of hatred. Where did that hate come from? Think on that. Think on that. Again, this is from that tree. Pleasure of destruction. Pleasure of evil. Hatred. That's what that is. You know, verse 13. And the day came to be when his sons and daughters were eating and drinking wine in the house of their brother, the firstborn. And a messenger came to Ayawaba and said the oxen were plowing and the donkeys feeding alongside them. When Shabbat fell upon them and took them away. And they smote the servants with the edge of the sword. And I alone have escaped to inform you. While he was speaking, another also came and said, the fire of Allahayama fell from the heavens and burned up the sheep and the servants and consumed them. And I alone have escaped to inform you. While he was still speaking, another also came and said, the Chaldeans or the Chaldeans formed 3 bands and made a raid on the camels and took them away. And they smote the servants with the edge of the sword. And I alone have escaped to inform you. See, while he was still speaking, another also came and said, your sons and daughters were eating and drinking wine in the house of their brother, the firstborn. And see, a great wind came from the wilderness and struck the 4 corners of the house, and it fell on the young men, and they are dead, and I alone have escaped to inform you. Then Ayawaba rose up and tore his robe and shaved his head, and he fell to the ground and did obeisance. I don't know how you say that, people. I'm sorry. Let's find out what the word we. Let's go here, verse 20. Because there's some words I just cannot pronounce, and I'm not going to pretend that I can. Again, that's that human ability in me, if that's a word, human ability. Okay, so we're looking for verse 20. And we're going to find out what this word is really said because, I don't know, omniscience and something like that. Okay, well, Yaquam and rose, Ayawab, well, Yakorab and tore, Alepah, Ma'ai Lawa, his robe, well, Yagza and shaved Alepah, Ra'ashawa, his head. I know that's his head, right? Right? Wa Yakfala and fell Zaha to the ground or the ground. Wa Yashafahawa and worshipped. There you go. And worship. Alright? But here, I like doing this too. Then this way it helps me figure out how to say these words. I don't like to see something that I can't and let it go by. So I'm going to do this the way I study. All right, I'm not going to hold back. Simple as that. Again, this way it helps you guys. So what I did, I pulled up a dictionary that I have on here. Took the word, pasted and copied it, then pasted it on the dictionary. Obeisance, I don't know. Let's just see. Let's go in and find out. All right. Now, here we go. Obeisance. Oh, obeisance. There you go, right there. Obeisance. O, but, B, Sansa. All right? Yeah, obeisance. Obeisance. Okay, I guess that's how you say it. Now, all right, now let's get back to the study. And he said, naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked I'll return there. Yahweh has given, and Yahweh has taken away. Blessed be the name of Yahweh. And all this, Yahweh did not sin nor ascribe wrongdoing unto Allahayama. Yahweh, chapter 2. Again, the day came to be that the sons of Allahayama came to present themselves before Yahweh. And Shaitan also came among them to present himself before Yahweh. See, right here it tells you he still goes up and down. He has to report in whether he likes it or not. That's what I'm receiving. He can't do anything without, the permission. He does not have control. He wants to be the head, but he's not. He got you thinking he is, and some of us. It's flesh. Why Father allows this to happen? It's not for us to ask. It's a bigger picture than what we can even imagine, let alone see. Okay? Verse 2. And Yahweh said to Shaitan, well, where do you come? And Shaitan answered Yahweh and said, from diligently searching in the earth and from walking up and down in it. It's like the same thing. And that's what happens. Think about that, what he just said here. Think about when these beings that you feel coming around you smell, your hair stands on the back of your head or your neck. That's just a sign, and it's also a mechanism that I believe Father put in us to understand what's going on around us, to be prepared. Watch ourselves. Sometimes we go to sleep on it. You become wide awake without the drugs and all the other stuff. And doing the will of the Father, the more obedient you become, the more awake you become and see things and feel things, and not only by eye, but by ear and smell. And plus, you know how to rebuke them. You know how to bind them. We're going to learn all this, all right? And Yahweh said to Shaitan, from where did you come? Verse 2 of chapter 2 of Yahweh. Where Yahweh said to Shaitan, from where do you come? And Shaitan answered Yahweh and said, from diligently searching in the earth and from walking up and down in it. And Yahweh said to Shaitan, have you considered my servant Yahweh, that there is none like him on the earth, a perfect and straight man, one who fears Allahayama and turns aside from evil. And still he holds fast to his integrity, although you incite me against him to destroy him without cause. Now, again, I want to show you guys, see that question mark right there? That's not in the original writing, period. So if you read this, you'll understand who's asking the question, if it's a question or it's a statement. All right? Okay. Verse 4. And Shaitan answered Yahweh and said, skin for skin, and all that a man has he would give for his life. But stretch out your hand, please, and strike his bone and his flesh, and if he would not curse you to your face. And Yahweh said to Shaitan, see, he is in your hand, only spare his life. And Shaitan went out from the presence of Yahweh and smote Yahweh, and with loathsome sores from the soles of his foot to the crown of his head. There you go right there. Now it tells you where these diseases come from. You know, what happens with us while we go through all this. And he took a potsherd with which to scrape himself while he sat in the midst of the ashes. And his wife said to him, do you still hold fast to your integrity? Curse Allahayama and die. Wow. But he said to her, you speak as one of the foolish women speaks. Indeed, should we accept only good from Allahayama and not accept evil? And all this Yahweh did not sin with his lips. And three of the friends of Yahweh heard all this evil that came on him. And each one came from his own place. Eliphaz, Alayapasa, the Yamana Yata, I guess, and Baladad. Okay, let's do that. I hear you. Let's go to verse 11, chapter 2. And we're going to see exactly how to say this. Excuse me. So 2 and 11. Let's see, it goes on his wives. And Yat Shemaiwa. And when heard Shalat Shapta, 3 Ra'aya friends. Now dig this. It's Ra'ai by itself without the Yah, it means evil. Okay? All right. So it says the 3 friends of Al Yawab, Alepar Al. See all. You can see this over here too, so you can read that. Ha Ra'ai, all the evil. Well, adversity it has here, but it's all evil. Ha Za'abda, this. Ha Ba'aha, that had come, Ala Yahweh, upon him. Wa Ya Ba'awa, and came a Yasha. Each one could be also man. Kwamawa, from his home. Alaya Fazah. That's one guy's name. So that'll be him. This one here. That one there. I can't do the whole thing because it's Ha Tayamanaya. See that? It has Tamanite, but it's Ha it's Tayamanaya. Alright? It has the Temanite. But here's Ha, which is the. Thayamanaya. Not Tatha. Okay? Waya and let's see it. Wa balat dada. Okay? That's the other name there. next to him, and under it right here. That's it, this one here. All right. Ha shawachaya. Ha shawachaya is a, see that? But it has a shoe height. But it's not how you say it. Wa, that's the. Ha is the. Shawachaya. Wa zawafara. Hana amataya. That's right here. That's this one here. This word here, right there. Wayawa adawa. And they mourn, but here's is met together, a comfort. Yahadawa, together. Labawa'a, to come. Lanawada, and mourn, you mourn. Lawa, to him, or for him, or rather with him. Wala nahamawa, and to comfort him. All right. I like reading this way more than I do this way here, personally. But I'm trying to make sure that you guys get this first before we just, because eventually that's how we're gonna just be reading this. Let's do this way, and it'll still be showing you the words, but you'll understand them. We just gotta stay in this. We gotta keep it going. All right, and they lifted up their eyes. This is verse 12 of chapter 2 of Yahweh. And they lifted up their eyes from a distance and did not recognize him. And they lifted their voices and wept. And each one tore his robe and sprinkled dust on his head towards the heavens. And then they sat down with him on the ground 7 days and 7 nights. And no one spoke a word to him, for they saw that the pain was very great. You read all that, you'll see how he comes out at the end. He comes out pretty cool, even better than what he was. He passed the test. He did not curse the Most High. He did not say anything abominable about him or evil or any of that. He did not bow down to the evil, because that's what that was about. Because you can't love, you can't have, we can't love two masters. You can't serve two masters. You have to love one and hate the other. Of course, they're talking about manna and the Most High, but it still goes on even with this. All right. So now let's go to. Let me see where I want to go next. Let's go to Mattiyahu in chapter 4, or Mattiyahawa. I don't know why I keep saying who, because like I said before, there's no you in this. Trying to see something here. Yeah, there's no you in Hebrew. All right. I need another, what's the name, too. So let's put this up. And let's see if we can find something here. I think I had one in here. I'm not sure. Hopefully I do. No, don't seem like I do. Give me a second. I have to find something. Yeah, don't seem like I do. Okay. I thought I had all this set up, but I forget I cut this off. So it'll be fresh. The other week, when I tried to send you guys out one, there was a technical difficulty. I had to take it back. I don't know what's going on. The sound didn't come through, period. Everything else made it through, but except for the sound. There was no sound. So you couldn't hear what was being said. Okay, now, we're going to say Mattiyahu 4, or Mattiyahawa, chapter 4. Okay, chapter 4. I'm going on here too. This is another way of studying. And I'll show you what it is in a minute. In chapter 4. Here. And I like doing these things, like I said. There you go. It's in Hebrew. And here go your Babylonian tongue. Babylonian language. Okay? When I say Babylonian language, for people who's probably skipped the other lessons. Some of you guys I know have, and hopefully you go back and listen to them. When I say Babylonian, because we speak all different kind of languages, and there's English that we call English. It's not English. You know, England don't even understand what we say. The people in there, Europeans, they don't understand. They say this is not English. We're speaking a little bit of everything: German, Italian, French, Latin, and a little Hebrew too. You know, especially when you say Hallelujah, but you don't know. Some people don't know what they're saying. Praise Yah, but they put a J there, which is a letter that came in after the year of 1116. After, because the first word, one of the words was printed because the 1116 book that doesn't have no J in it. It's a Bible or Safra. All right, so it's after that. So when you people run around talking about JESUS or JAH, see, of course, I can't say the words, but you understand, you understand what I'm saying. You're speaking on a tongue that they didn't speak back in the day. There was no J's. So why would you call someone JESUS when there was no J's? I don't get that. I don't get it. You know. Again, it's like me calling you or you calling me out my name or adding something to it I don't like. And again, as we talked about earlier, as far as being made in the image of our Father, you know, and then with our temper, don't you believe He has one? We don't like it. What do you think He feels about someone calling Him out His name? He tells you not to do that. Period. Just don't soil it. But it is what it is. And some of us listen to other people instead of reading this word ourselves. And as I always say, also, they don't even really believe me. I mean, believe me, listen to what I'm saying, but check this out for yourself. Let Father show you as He's showing me. All right. Now let's get started. Then Yahashua, this is Maddie Hawa, or Matthew Hawa. Then Yahashua was led up. Then Yahashua was led up by the Spirit into the wilderness to be tried by the devil. Of course, we have here Ha-Shatan, right here. See? So you see the difference of translations. Okay. Verse 2. And after having fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was hungry. And the trier came and said to him, if you are the son of Allahayama, commanded that these stones become bread. But he answering said, it has been written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that comes from the mouth of Yahweh. Okay. Now let's see. Give me a second. Yes, that's what I thought. It says, then Shaitan took him up into the holy cities, Hakodasha, set him on the edge of the holy place, Hamakwadasha, Bayata, the house of the holy, most holy, or from the holy. Okay? And said to him, if you are the son of Allahayama, throw yourself down, for it has been written, he shall command his messengers concerning you. And in their hands they shall bear you up, so that you do not dash your foot against a stone. And Yahushua said to him, it has also been written that you shall not try Yahweh, your Allahayama. You find that in Deuteronomy 6 and 16. Again, Shaitan took him up on a very high mountain and showed him all the reigns, all the kingdoms of the world and their esteem and their glory. Let's look at this. Yes, same word. And said to him, all these I shall give you, if you fall down and worship me. That is something I never understood because he must didn't know. He had a guess, but he wasn't sure who Yahushua was or is. How you gonna give someone something that's already his? He owns everything, including you and me. He created us. Book of Yohana tells you in the beginning was the word, and here, let's go there. Let's go there. I'll pull this up on another one here so we can see that and we keep that. Okay, look here. And I'll put it in there again, Babylonian tongue, help us understand what's going on. All right. I'd like to show you too all something else. But it says in the beginning was the word, and the word was with Allahayama, and the word was Allahayama. He was in the beginning with Allahayama. All came to be through him, and without him, not even one came to be that came to be. Even the one without him came to be. Who's without him? Who we speaking about? They don't even find about this word not or nothing. Nothing is another name for Shaitan. All right? So you can find a lot of these in Colossians 1 and 16, Hebrew 1 and 2, Hebrew 11, 3 and 2, and 2 Peter 3 and 5, and Psalms 33 and 6. All right? Let's get back to the lesson. Let's go back to verse 9, chapter 4, Mighty Hayawa. And said to him, all these I shall give you if you fall down and worship me. Then Yahushua said to him, go, Shaitan, down. For it has been written, you shall worship Yahweh, your Allahayama, and him alone you shall serve. Now check this out. This is what happens. That's in Deuteronomy 6 and 13. Then, let's put this up here. Let's put this up here first before we start. Verse 11 and verse 11. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Then Shaitan left him, and see, messengers came and attended him. Messengers, angels. He told him to go, and he left. You feel that? He left. He couldn't stay around no more because he told him to go. But he said, if you bow down to me, I'll give you all this. Get out of here. And he had to leave. He had no choice. Then he knew who he was. All right? All right, verse 12. And Yahushua, having heard that Yochanan had been put in prison, withdrew into Galayala. Now let's make sure we say this right. Yep, Galayala, right here, right there. Wait, hold up. I'm sorry. Yeah. Oh, come on. Yeah, right here. Galayala. All right. 13, and leaving Nazareth, right here, Nazareth, leaving Nazareth, he came and dwelt in Kapharah. Here we go here. But that's in Kapharah, right here. Kapharah, Naham, and that's, here we go here. Nahamwam, right here. Nahamwa, which is by the sea, and the borders of, which is by the sea, in the borders of Zabalawan. See that? Zabalawan. Zabawalan. And Naphtaliah. It's right here. That's this here. Right there. And it's this word here. Okay, right there. All right. To feel what was spoken by Yahweh. Now, this is the name that we speak on a lot. Let me take it right here, show you here. Yahshua, okay. But here we got, Yahshua, Yahweh. Okay, that's Isaiah. All right. Ha naba ya'a la amara. Give me 1 second, family. I'm trying to find something here. It's not. Is it here? 1 second, please. So again, let's read that. To feel what was spoken by Yahshai Yahweh, the prophet, saying, land of Zabulon and the land of Naphtaliah, the way of the sea beyond the Yordan, Galayala of the Gentiles. The people who sat in darkness saw a great light, and upon those who sat in the land and shadow of death, light rose to them. Find that also in Yashayahawa, Yashayahawa, 9, chapter 9, verses 1 through 2. And from that time, Yahushua began to proclaim and to say, repent, for the reign of the heavens has drawn near. And Yahushua, walking by the sea of Galayala, saw two brothers, Shamawan and Kapha, and Andrayah, and his brother casting a net into the sea, for they were fishermen. Now check this out, family. I'll show you something. Respect fan. Hanashayam, Kayam, Shamaywan, that's Shamayan, Shamayam or Shamaywan, Hana, Quafra, Pataram. See, now here, it should be Kafra, but they try to say Peter, Patarayam, or Patarasa. So it become like trying to say Peter, but it's really, his name is Kafra, all right, not Peter, all right. But even in here, who did this printing on here, changed the name. Well, Anadala, well, no, Anadaraya, that's this word here. Akayawa, not Aka, is Akayawa. That's and his brother casting the net into the sea, for they were fishermen. Okay. Chapter 19. And he said to them, follow me, and I shall make you fisher of men. And immediately they left their nets and followed him. That's strange, isn't it? That when he talked to people, they listened. Why can't we do that to this day? He told them, come on, man, follow me. And they followed him. He told the enemy, go, and he left. He told spirits to come out of them, and they left. They came out. Why can't we do that today? Why won't we listen to him today? He was here in flesh and blood. Okay. Oh, wow. Just, again, I guess it's in the part of free will. I know the reward will be great for us, the ones who will pass and make it to the promised land or promised life. You know, one parts of the book of Yohanan, John, Yahushua tells his father, he hasn't lost only one. That was the son of perdition. And apple tree believes talking about Shaitan. That's the only being he lost. I believe that even at this last molecule of a second, we still have time to repent. I'm not saying to wait till that time and keep cutting up. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying. So he didn't lose one. Verse 21. And going on from there, he saw two other brothers, Yaakov, okay, but here we got Yaakov, see, the son of Zebediah, okay, Zebediah, and Yohanan, Yawahanan, his brother, in the boat with Zebediah, their dad, mending their nets, and he called them. And immediately they left the boat and their dad and followed him. There's a reason why I don't say that word, except for I'll say it when I'm speaking of my Father, the Most High. I don't even call my own dad that. So I will not call no one else's dad that name. It's only one Father to me. As a matter of fact, it's another commandment if we really read the word of Yahushua. It says do not call any man Father. You only have one Father. That's the Creator. All right. Chapter 22, it says immediately they left the boat and their dad and followed him. And Yahushua went about all Galilee, teaching in their congregations and proclaiming the good news of the reign and healing every disease and every body weaknesses among the people. Now, this word, I'm going to see if it's in here before I say anything. Yep, there it is, Basharah. Well, Basharah. The word Basharah is good news or flesh. Same word. Okay? Right there, Basharah. That's what he said, good news. All right? Right here, good news. Okay, let's read that again. Yahushua went about all Galilee, teaching in their congregations and proclaiming the good news about Shariah of the reign and healing every diseases and every bodily weakness among the people. That Basharah, just thinking about sound like Asherah, blessing and happiness. Okay. There's a lot of other things I want to show you guys. We'll keep on going, though. But I've noticed that when they talk about water, we know it's a body of water. People, Yama, Yah, the Yod and the Mem, all right? I call it Yama, all right? At the end of the words, a lot of words that have Yam in it speaks of this water. You'll see that in more of the studying. Even the title of the Most High, Alahayama, ends with that water. So you can come as flesh and blood, but it's water. You know, as we know, there's so much percentage of water in the human being's body. I think we're more water than anything, you know. So when we read these words, we try to look at it not only on the fleshly level, but on a spiritual level. In actuality, that's what I was trying to show you guys on the transliteration that I did. It's on a spiritual level. Yeah. And it gets deeper and deeper because I've been reading this for years now and studying it. And just trying to put it in words that you guys can understand. As again, if I read it on my own, I hear it, and I understand what it said. But for me to be able to tell someone else, I'm working on that. You did to educate you guys and showing you And plus, you can be doing this yourself. But for a lot of you guys, I mean, I didn't have no one to start me off like this, but the Most High. And I truly, truly, truly appreciate that. That's who taught me, not no man, right? So again, when I'm stumbling over these words, I don't stumble over them in my mind. I stumble over them when I'm talking out loud, trying to explain them to someone. Right? I never was too much of a cool educator until now. I couldn't tell you how to do this and do that. I didn't have that patience. Maybe it's something new that Father's best will, but I'm still introducing me to me. I'm learning new about me. All right. Verse 24. And the news about him went out into all Syria, and they brought to him all who were sick, afflicted with various diseases and pains, and those who were demon possessed, and epileptics, and paralytics, and he healed them. And large crowds from Galilee and the Kapawalasiasa, I guess, and Yawashalayama, and Yawada, and beyond the Yarden followed him. Okay. Oh boy, yeah, watch that, buddy. Okay. Let's go to Mattiyahu, because I'm getting somewhere. 13, and I want to stop with 13 and show you something that Father blessed me with on that too. So let's first go to Mattiyahu 13. Okay. Let's hit this one first. And 13 and 13. See something here. Okay. It says here, and on that day, Yahushua went out of the house and sat by the sea, and large crowds were gathered together to him, so that he went into a boat and sat down, and all the crowd stood on the beach. Verse 3, and he spoke to them much in parables, saying, see, the sower went out to sow, and as he sowed, some indeed fell by the wayside, and the birds came and devoured them. And the others fell on rocky places where they did not have much soil, and immediately they sprung up because they had no depth of soil. But when the sun was up, they were scorched, and because they had no root, they withered. And others fell among thorns, and the thorns came up and choked them. And others fell on good soil and yielded a crop, some 100-fold, some 60, some 30. He who has ears to hear, let him hear. And the top ones came and said to him, why do you speak to them in parables? And he answering said to them, because it has been given to you to know the secrets of the reign of the heavens, but to them it has not been given. He says, for whoever possesses us, to him more shall be given, and he shall have overflowingly. But whoever does not possess us, even what he possesses shall be taken away from him. It's because of this I speak to them in parables, because seeing they do not see, and hearing they do not hear, nor do they understand. And in them the prophecy of Yahweh is completely filled, which says, hearing you shall hear, and by no means understand, and seeing you shall see, and by no means perceive. For the heart of this people has become thickened, and their ears are hard of hearing, and their eyes they have closed, lest they should see with their eyes and hear with their ears, lest they should understand with their heart and turn back, and I heal them. He says, and blessed are your eyes because they see, and your ears because they hear. For truly I say to you, that many prophets and righteous ones long to see, excuse me, long to see. Oh, you're speaking. Oh, give me a second. Get me every time. For truly I say to you that many prophets and righteous ones long to see what you see and did not see it, and to hear what you hear and did not hear it. You then hear the parable of the sower. When anyone hears the word of the rain and does not understand it, then the wicked one comes and snatches away what was sown in his heart. This is that sown by the wayside. And that sown on rocky places, this is he who hears the word and immediately receives it with joy. Yet he has no root in himself, but is short-lived, and when pressure or persecution arises because of the word, immediately he stumbles. And that sown among the thorns is he who hears the word, and the worry of this age and the deceit of riches chokes the word, and it becomes fruitless. And that sown on a good soil is he who hears the word and understands it, who indeed bears fruit and yields some a hundredfold, some 60, some 30. Another parable he put before them, saying, the rain of the heavens have become like a man who sowed good seed in his field. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed darnel among the wheat and went away. Give me a second. Something's going on. See that? You guys see that? Now we got to find it. Did you see that? It just shot up by itself. So let's go back to 24, verse 24. That is, you know who did that. We know who did that. I didn't do it. Another parable he put before them, saying, the rain of the heavens has become like a man who sowed good seed in his field. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed darnel among the wheat and went away. And when the blaze sprouted and bore fruit, then the darnel also appeared. And the servants of the master of the house came and said to him, Master, did you not sow good seed in your field? From where then does it have the darnel? And he said to them, a man, an enemy did this. And the servants said to him, do you wish then that we go and gather them up? I want to see something here, because I see a word here. Wow, that went all the way back too, didn't it? So we're looking for 28. I want to see if this is what I think it does. It might be red, bro. 28. Nah, that's right. Is that 28? Yeah. All right. Yeah, there you go. Ayasha. That's a man right here. I thought it was Amana, but it's a man. An enemy did this. Let's go back. In 28, verse 28 says, and he said to them, a man, an enemy did this. And the servant said to him, do you wish then that we go and gather them up. Give me a second, please. Mouth got dry, throat dry. But he said no. Verse 29. But he said, no, lest while you gather up the darnels, you also uproot the wheat with them. Let both grow together until the harvest. And at the time of the harvest, I shall say to the reapers, first gather the darnel and bind them in bundles to burn them, but gather the wheat unto my granary. Another parable he put before them, saying, the rain of the heavens is like a mustard seed, which a man took and sowed in his fields, which indeed is less than all the seeds. But when it is grown, it is greater than the plants and becomes a tree, so that the birds of the heaven come and dwell in its branches. Verse 33 says, in another parable, he spoke to them, the rain of the heavens is like leaven, which a woman took and hid in 3 measures of meal until all was leavened. Yahushua said all this to the crowd in parables, and he did not speak to them without a parable, so that what was spoken by the prophets might be filled, saying, I shall open my mouth in parables. I shall pour forth what has been hidden from the foundations of the world. Excuse me. Then, having sent the crowds away, Yahushua went into the house, and his top ones came to him, saying, explain to us the parable of the darnel of the field. And he answering, said to them, he who is sowing the good seed is the son of Adam. And the field is the world. And the good seed, these are the sons of the rain. But the darnel are the sons of the wicked ones, of the wicked one. And the enemy who sowed them is the devil. Okay? And the harvest is the end of the age. And the reapers are the messengers. But let me check this out for a minute. Give me a minute. I'll make sure this word. I have not yet seen that word in Hebrew. Yeah, it gets shatan again. And the enemy who sowed them is shatan. And the harvest is the end of the age. And the reapers are the messengers, the angels. And as the darnel then is gathered and burned in the fire, so it shall be at the end of this age. The son of Adam shall send out his messengers, and they shall gather out of his reign all the stumbling blocks, and those being lawlessness, and shall throw them into the furnace of fire. And there shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. Then the righteous shall shine forth as the sun in the reign of their father. He who has ears to hear, let him hear. Again, the reign of the heavens is like treasures hidden in a field, which a man having found it hid, and for joy over it he goes and sells all that he has and buys that field. Again, the reign of the heavens is like a man, a merchant, seeking fine pearls, who, when he had found one pearl of great price, went and sold all that he had and bought it. Again, the reign of the heavens is like a dragnet that was thrown into the sea and gathered some of every kind, which when it was filled, they drew to shore. And they sat down and gathered the good into the containers, but threw the rotten away. Thus shall it be at the end of the age. The messengers shall come forth and separate the wicked out of the midst of the righteous, and shall throw them into the furnace of fire. He says there shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. Yahushua said to them, have you understood all this? They said to him, Yea, master. And he said to them, therefore, every scholar of scripture taught in the reign of the heavens is like a householder who brings out of his treasure matters, renewed and old. Let's check this out. Old truths contains the scriptures since the beginning. That's right. And it came to be when Yahushua had ended these parables that he left there. And when he had come to his own country, he taught them in their congregations, so that they were astonished and said, where did this one get this wisdom and miracles? Is this not the son of the carpenter? Check it out. Is not his mother called Miriam, and his brothers Yaakov, Mariam, and his brothers Yaakov or Kawab, and Yasafa, and Shamyamawan, and Yahawada, and his sisters, are they not all with us? Where then did this one get all this? And they stumbled at him. But Yahushua said to them, here it goes. A prophet is not appreciated except in his own. Oh, let me say it again. And they stumbled at him. But Yahushua said to them, a prophet is not unappreciated except in his own country and in his own house. Speaking on that earlier. And he did not do many miracles there because of their unbelief. Wow. Strange. You think you know someone and you miss out the good of them. When the good comes, you're still looking at the past and thinking this is who that person is when this person has been reborn. And so you miss out on the blessings that he can bless you with because you don't believe it. All right. Now, what I wanted to do was, on that, there's a passage here, verse 38. And I went back into transliterating again like I did with the other. I'm hoping you guys, I might have did it too fast too, so I'm going to try to slow this one down. See if you guys will get overstanding, because I have to listen to it so again and see how it went down. But, wow. 38. 38. Here we go. Where we at? Right there. Ha. Waha Shadaha. Now on that, I have one here. Let me see. Make sure. Yeah. Whom the Shada'a, the devil, the demon. Oh, by the way, that Shadah, that's what it means. Let me see if I can find you one real quick. Give me this right here. Some of you people don't know this. Shadah in Hebrew, what it means. And sometimes I say things and forget that a lot of people's coming here just learning this. Paste that. Hit this. See what happens. Yep, there we go. Okay. All right, now, so it's 7,700. All right, you got 7,701 here. It's the same word. And it says that Shadah, and it means, and they ain't even showing the name on here. Look at that. Shadah means violence, havoc, devastation, ruin. Original word Shadah. Okay, Shadah, devastation, ruin. Okay, let's see here. Violence, havoc, devastation, ruin again. That destroyed, destruction, devastation, violence. Okay, now we keep on going down here. We're going to find out something here. Let's see. Here we go. Desolation, destruction, oppression, robbery, spoil, wasting. From Shawada, violence, ravage, desolation, destruction, oppression, robbery, spoil, aim, and waste. Okay, Shawada. Now check it out. I'm going to take it back one. Take it back one. Now watch what it says. Shada, right? See that? Shada, demon. It's probably demon, but it's demon. All right? Demon or demons. Okay? Keep going on here. Should be coming up. Here we go. Doiman. That's malignant devil. Right there. See it? That's that word shawada. Shada. Shada. So even though sometimes it could be made by field, means a field, but if you read in deep into it and keep studying it, you'll see these words. They'll pop right up. And every time when I see that word, I have to read the whole verse. Okay? So again, here's how it goes on this wise. Whom the devil, who's from of old ancient, whom the offsprings of him have a good son of mine, his kingdom, then they and him, this offspring of mine is wickedness and naughtiness to murmur. All things and everything belongs to the Most High. Okay, all created for through and by Him, even the enemy. You know, with the free will, it still goes wild, goes awry, or even us goes awry, we disobedient, but we still, no matter how we look at it, we belong to the Most High. Okay, again, we just came up with that, and this book here, or this one here, right here, where it says in verse 3 in John chapter 1 says, all came to be through him, and without him, not even one came to be that came to be. Even the ones who done it was without him, they still came to be with him. All right? And if you read this again in Hebrew, let's put that up, especially the first part of it. And put this John up right here. And here, let's see. We get this. Bara Ashayata, there's sheep. Haya, the Yah. Ha Dabara, the word. Wa ha Dabara, him, the word. Hayaha. Okay? Most High Yah. Alepta, getting in it, the first and the last, getting in. Ha Alahayama, self-explanatory. Wa a and wa a Allah wa al Alahayama, that's an Alahayama. Hayaha. Okay? The Most High Yah. Ha Dabara, the Most High word. It's a lot of this. Like I said, we've had a lot of study to do. A lot. So, again, like I said, I'm hopefully that you guys understood what I was saying as far as the transliteration. Okay. Now, let me see something. I started at 11 o'clock on the time of, actually, I'm sorry, 6 o'clock p.m. when I started the service, this lesson. It's 12:50. So that makes it 7:50, right? Yeah, 7:50. All right. So it's like an hour and a half. I've seen on here that some people has 3 hours on there. I'm not going to chance it. So we're going to stop here, and we'll come back when we come back. Okay, and hopefully it'll be in my spirit the Father placed me to get through verse 2 of Barashayapta Gama Gala Kama. That's chapter 3. And we'll go to verse 2, but bat. Okay, we're learning all this. So 2 would be bat, the letter bat. In Hebrew, again, for the new ones just coming in, Hebrew, the lettering is not only for words, but it's also for numbers. That's how they count. That's how we count. We're trying to come back to where we belong. You know, it's biblical. Obviously, we will come back to our land. Our land can not only be just a land of flesh, but a land of spirit. Hey, listen. I hope you guys enjoy this, and like I said earlier, just keep listening to it over and over, and you'll get it. You'll get it. You know, if you really want it. Again, Shabbat. Shalom is coming up. It's not yet, but we're getting prepared for it. Again, on the Shabbat, as we read before, and the other lessons say that we are to stay in one place, stay at home, not even supposed to travel. So this is for as they did this on the day of preparation of the time of Yerushalayim. Okay, and that's what time it is. Right now is the day of preparation. It's 7 o'clock. 7 after 7 in Yerushalayim. Okay, and that's where all this comes from. Yep. Shalom. Much become. Shalom.